And if I can add to that, hey, I've elevated, regardless if anybody out there receive it or not. So I don't frequent places that I did 20 years ago. I don't behave away consistently as I did 20 years ago. So you're gonna have to meet me on my level because I ain't really coming down like that. And people just gotta respect that, man. That's my journey. The grace of it, as Tay said, is man, I respect people in their journey. But at the end of the day, for me, is see you at the top or I'll see you from the top. No negotiations with myself.
Yep. You know what this is? This is not a movement, it's the only thing moving, huh? Dig that? Huh. Okay, oh yes, the war is coming. The gap keep growing with the wealthy and the slumming. So I use my mental riches for digits to keep them running till my chips come around. Yup, like a funyun. Bite down, get a taste of that Midwest flavor. While I'm at it, let Mr. Rogers just shout out to my neighbors. I ain't mention the journal when I say wake up, get paper. Not talking about Kobe when they mention a great lake.
It's 20 minutes today. But ladies and gentlemen, we back with another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. I'm your illustrious host, Jerome Williams. I got my good brother Dante Owens and Lamar Wilburn here in the building with me today. How y'all feeling today, brothers?
Feeling good, ready to go.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It only took us a little bit. Lamar, how about you, brother?
I'm good, man. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So the rumor mill is that LeBron James may be pushing for a trade, or the Lakers are open to it. So, what are your thoughts, gentlemen? React.
Wow.
wow. Do you think it's warranted? I have my feelings about this, but people call me a bronsexual, so I'll reserve my judgment for last.
I get making a play. I really do. But I think it depends on any organization what you willing to give up. I love LeBron. He's one of the all-time greats, one of my all-time favorites. But the reality is that he is not going to win today. He can't carry a team by himself. So if you have to give up 4 future round draft picks, it just ain't worth it.
Yeah, you well, it depends on what team you go to, though. But like I said, I'll reserve my judgment for last. So Dante, can you go, please, sir?
I mean, I'm almost against it because it might mess up the chemistry of a team that's already a contender. You know, some of those teams they threw out like that Golden State. I don't know how young guys address that just from that standpoint. Like, man, it's a lot of pressure. You know, if you end up with LeBron and Steph Curry on the same team, like, you expect it to win the chip. You know, it ain't the same as just like coming out, playing hard, getting your opportunity. You got to adjust your whole game now. Is he going to be a starter? Is he coming off the bench? And we already know the answer to that. He ain't coming off the bench. So I just don't know how it really works. I mean, I get it. LeBron, at this stage in his career, I feel like he deserves an opportunity for a chip. But at the same time, I don't know how he fits somewhere else.
I mean, my answer to this is that we've seen him play in the Olympics. It worked out pretty well in the Olympics. I think the only issue that LA is facing is the fact that they don't have another 2 guard next to him. I think that's the biggest key point that they're missing, is they don't have a solid 2 guard next to him, one that could play both ends of the floor to compete. Because like I said, we've been saying this for the longest. LeBron can't hold a parked car. Like, he ain't been able to for the last 3 years. Yeah, he makes some good defensive stops and whatever, but as far as like that discipline on the defensive end, he don't have it no more. He too old for it. You know what I mean? So I think like I said, I think that's the biggest deal. I think he can go anywhere and fit. I think Dallas would be a good fit for him. He's already got to play with Kyrie. He loved Luka. We've seen them in the All-Star game together. Dallas don't got that many young pieces to get rid of, or where you have to worry about the ego play like y'all discussing. You know what I mean? I think Dallas would be a perfect fit for him. I ain't saying Golden State would be, because like I said, Golden State looking like they got a dynasty over there again. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I think I won't call it a shot for a chip, but I think he need to get out from under that purple and gold, mainly because they don't have the pieces that he need right now, and I hate to see them just not be good or be mediocre and just limp to the postseason and then get put out the first round and this would be pretty much the end of his legacy because he is still a phenomenal player, but he just don't have it in him play to be a highly competitive superstar at the levels that he's been over these last few years.
No,
Call up my boy Bronny. Let's sell some tickets.
Mm,
Let's get some engagement. LeBron's not winning another ring. And this is my beef with Bron sexuals and LeBron stands. All y'all was saying was AD. When AD is having one of the best seasons of his career. Now y'all saying, oh, he need a whole nother team. And LeBron has suffered that his whole career. When he won, it was all LeBron. When he was losing, it was all his team.
mm-hmm,
And it just goes to show you, man, that it's a privilege and an honor to make it, to the championship, let alone win it.
mm-hmm.
He's just over the hill, man. Let that man have his farewell tour, but you're gonna give up all the future for the present, and it's still not a guarantee to win. I think it's silly.
Yeah, I agree with you in that aspect. Now, if we'd have had this version of AD when he first got to LA, it would have been a different story. We thought that's the version of the AD we was getting, and obviously we saw what we got. We got a player that couldn't stay healthy. You know what I mean? So, I agree with you on. I still think it's a possibility, depending on the right fit, that he could win the ring. But like I said, he's gonna have to rely on other players. It ain't gonna be all just him doing it. And I was never on the fence of that. Oh, once now that we got AD, that bandwagon. But I thought this would give the Lakers a shot. I was one of the people that was pissed off that Zoe left. You know what I mean? I loved Alonzo in that purple and gold, but I don't know if he would have been able to sustain, seeing as how his careers went with Chicago. So, like I said, it might not be a path forward in LeBron's career. Might just have to ride it out and get this farewell tour, call Bronny up, like you said. I'm all for that. I'm all for it. It's just what what's the NBA plan to market the next superstar? We ain't seeing that. It's not so prevalent right now. So I guess that's why I'm still holding on to this, like what they're gonna do with LeBron, because he's still that guy, the face of the league right now. Like, if there's anybody else to step up and fulfill those shoes, who would y'all think it would be?
I
man,
don't think.
I don't know
Yeah,
who's I don't know who's like most dominant right now. Like it's hard to find that talent that comes in and dominates the league like Bron or Jordan or Kobe. Like it's hard to have that long run of just straight dominance. I definitely don't think LeBron fits with Dallas because Luka dribbled the ball for 21 seconds out the 24-second shot clock.
Yeah,
So I don't see how that works, but I definitely don't think you leverage your future for him. You probably gonna get a year out of him if you do get him. And then the other part is like, who is the face of the league? Man, I don't think anybody will probably be able to dominate the league like this ever again. You might have a team that does well. Celtics might be tough for another couple of years, but I just don't think anybody is going to dominate the league at this point again. I think that might be a foregone conclusion.
yeah, and I don't even know if it has so much about dominating the league. Maybe more so the charisma, because Brian got that charisma about him. Not only he been balling, he got that charisma about it. I don't see that from too many players. I mean, some of these foreign players are fun to watch and hear get their shit off, but you know what I mean? I don't see the charisma that LeBron and the Kobe's and the Jordans exuded. You know what I mean? I think that's more so an issue. Like, who can they market? You know what I mean? That's not more so who is dominating. Like, who could they market?
Right. But I think that's a part of it. Like, yeah, you got to be marketable, but like, you can't go out in the first round of the playoffs when everybody is looking for you too. So that you got to have that level of play that goes with it. Like, man, we love this guy. Now we late in the postseason, and we still get to see him. And so I think that part of things is being able to say like, yeah, there's going to be one guy who's going to be able to repeatedly get in that postseason and give you something to root for as well as be marketable. Man, I don't know. I don't know if it can be done again.
Hmm.
I would like to see us get away from superstar driven league by the sense of marketing, because I think that muddies the water. Because a lot of people are just casual fans. They watch it, even if you watch it, right? If you haven't been playing this game, a lot of times people view it differently. For me, I would like to see it be competitive from a team aspect. Because now you got to think about it. People really contemplating a LeBron deal. And yes, it's the best we've ever seen, but he still can't guard a parked car. And we know this. But he get that luxury because he's a superstar. Well, a hater would say he's a has been. Two things can be true, right? So I think when you're talking about this, teams winning should be really the push and making it competitive. Let the fans decide. Let the people fall in love with the teams and stuff how we did as a kid. But now it was Jordan. Kobe had a little bit of it, but Kobe was in trouble off the court, just different. And then it was just LeBron, 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 and then Curry, 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 Curry. Let's look at the dynasty of the teams and how well they work together and how well they win. And I think that would make the league more exciting again. And as far as like who will arise, I think a lot of them guys have charisma. They don't get the opportunity to show it because nobody's really checking for them. LeBron getting 14 points. Everything LeBron do now is going to be history because nobody ever did it. So they make that such a big deal, which that's cool. But at some point, hey, we know it's going to be a record, even if he had 5 points, because nobody 65 has scored 5 points.
Yeah.
But we keep making that a thing versus recognizing the winning.
My thoughts on that is the franchise and the league making the teams more focusing on team, like, building franchises again. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think it's too much money involved. So when these players are looking for 200, 300, 400 million, I don't think these teams cap space is big enough for them to franchise to build a whole franchise around for people to focus on the franchise. I understand what you're saying about the marketability of an individual player and getting away from that and whatnot. I do agree with you. I just think the amount of money that these players are capable of making and that they are competitive and willing to go chase that bag. I just think we way past that era in basketball.
Yeah, that new bargaining agreement makes that possible. And if you notice, if you look back at the past champions, it ain't like a super team based off of like, hey, go get KD and go. Them teams really don't win. It's really the teams that have a very good developmental program and they get these draft picks and they develop people. You got to think about Jalen Brown. You got to think about my boy from Colorado. A lot of these players were slept on, right? But then you think about Brad Stevens and how he come from the collegiate level. They tried to have him at coach. He wasn't doing well. Just like from a fit perspective, they're like, oh, president of operations, you have a mindset. So they put him in. So it just allows the game and for organizations to really strategize and put people in the proper place. Now they developing players at a very high rate, and they ain't got the best players. Boston don't even have the best players, but they have the best team by far. And that's what I would hope that we would see is that everybody having to do their job.
Yeah. Tay, you got anything to input on that?
I just think to make it more marketable, they need to change the format. I think they need to get away from 7 game series until you get to the championship. Then you should be in a 3 game. You should be in 3 game series until you get up there. Then it should be probably a little bit closer to like March Madness. Now in a 3 game series, a team that you wasn't expecting can go far and win. And I think that would get the fans involved, right? You might be shocked that Charlotte in a 3 game series beat the Celtics. Man, that's going to bring some excitement and some buzz because nobody saw that coming. But when they keep trying to push and pick these players, and like I think Wemby's good, I think Luka's good, but they not the face of the NBA, and I think they need to just allow the fans to really pick that, and they need to let the players pick that through their play and by who's the best, and then that officiating's trash as a whole too.
That part.
One play you can tackle a rookie, the next play you can't breathe on a superstar. Like nobody want to see that, man. We want to see the best players play the game and win the game.
That part for sure. Man, well, hopefully the NBA can figure out a way forward. Enough of that because I'm pretty sure we lost 98% of our women listeners.
Right.
But something that was near and dear to my heart, man. Kind of wanted to touch on friendship and just how to navigate that. Um, I've been having this issue with people who are friends or associates trying to attach themselves to something. Um, Burden, we briefly spoke on this earlier, so I kind of let you kind of introduce this and kind of talk into it a little bit more, because I have nothing but vitriol and anger, and it's gonna come out the wrong way if I start talking first. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you kind of talk about talk about how people being opportunists when they see you got motion.
I'll say this. And sometimes you need to let the anger out, man, because it's a self expression. But what I will say is you just get to a season and a space in your life where you realize that at the end of the day, people are lousy, man. And what we do in our community a lot of time is we hold on to things of our associates, or friends, whatever you call them, that are dinosaur like. For example, an easy one would be, if you was smoking weed and playing video games with your homies, y'all did that in college, y'all do that now. That's really all y'all do. Well, if one of y'all starts smoking weed, that really ain't a beneficial relationship with you because that's all y'all ever did. So I think as you kind of grow in life, you know, you may encourage a friend to go to the gym or start a business. And most times than not, in our community, it's lip service. And people may not really think Jerome or Tay or whoever is that guy, right? And then you say, okay, cool, I am that guy. I'm gonna go and start said business or opportunity, and people just feel entitled to being a part of that. And that's just crazy. And it's just something that most people aren't self-aware of in our community. It's just crazy. Sometimes you miss the bus, and there's multiple guys, even like we talked about in basketball. In most things successful, there's a team. And I just never had the bravado that, Jerome, you ain't the guy because I'm the guy. I'm the guy. If you say you that guy, you that guy. Like it shouldn't be a competition because two things can be true. I know I'm that guy. I've always been that guy. That doesn't mean nobody else is that guy. And I think when it comes to going forward, man, people be dinosaur in their thinking, um, and their procrastination. It's like don't sleep on your friends because don't hate and don't wait. People gonna go forward without you, and you're not entitled for the ride. It's just the truth.
What if that guy is the Al Bundy syndrome? Like, what if you really wasn't that guy, but you was known for one thing at a period of time, and then you fast forward, and the person that was more meek and quiet, they start becoming, like they say, the nerds run the world now. That's the big thing. It ain't so much based on cool and persona no more. You know what I mean? And now you get these people who think that because, oh yeah, 20 years ago you was had the best crossover on the block. You sold the most dope on the block, X, Y, and Z. And so now, like, you was doing X, whatever your area of forte was or whatever at that time. That's what you was doing, and people knew you for that. Now, don't nobody know who the hell you are, and don't nobody care. You know what I mean? And now you want to sit up here and act like because, oh, I got some motion going, you supposed to give me an opportunity because I was that guy back in the day. Nobody gives a
And most of those guys, honestly, they still doing that, and they may still be that guy in that forte. But as you age, you have kids, and you actually accomplish stuff. You realize that there's hundreds of fortes, and I'm not going to be just subject to one forte, especially a forte that was my forte when I was 20.
right.
So people be dinosaurs.
One thing that really pisses me off though is like, fam, like, I don't like at this age, at this big age, I don't give a what you got going on, fam. The people that I care about is my children, my wife, my kids, the people that I love around me, the what they say and how they feel about me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I like, especially I care about my friends, you know what I'm saying, in a certain aspect what their opinions about me. But if I'm being moral, if I'm being right and I'm doing the things that I need to do to affect and grow my household and to grow and personally grow, y'all should be happy for me. Y'all shouldn't be trying to attach yourself because you see that somebody got something going on. Is weird. Like, you know what I mean? I've never been that type of person to try to attach myself because I see somebody got motion. More so, I'm like, hey, how can I help you? Not more so, hey, bro, put me on. No, how can I help you? If I see that you have a need somewhere, I've done it. I'll just say it. I've done it in y'all business. I see y'all had a need somewhere. I offered to help. Y'all did the same thing with me. Y'all saw I had a need somewhere. Y'all came to assist me. That's how y'all ended up on this show. You know what I mean? Like this, just keep it a book. It's like we builders, fam, and that's what I pride myself on is being a builder. But I hate fucking leeches.
Yeah, I would agree. And I kind of cut you off, Tay, so I'm gonna get off my soap and let you cook. But it's just people just need to realize, man, that at the end of the day, we do these videos, any content, man, people should like and comment, right? It ain't for everybody to have a mic. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody to have a camera. If I went and got a Maybach tomorrow, it's only one driver, right? At the end of the day, it don't matter. And then past that, it only seat what 4 or 5. So at the end of the day, we gotta learn placement, man. I think as you advance as people, you gotta learn placement. And then I think with placement, when you learn placement, you learn how to be genuine about accepting your role, and that's how you win. Because if you clapping the loudest and you creating engagement or XYZ, you creating space for yourself versus being entitled to it.
Yeah, Tay, go ahead and cook.
I think I'm gonna give a little bit of grace because I realize that most people operate from a place of fear. When Lamar and I started doing business, I'm sure many people were like, "Man, not those guys. They can't get this done." And reality is that's what they were thinking about themselves. They knew how difficult it was for themselves, and people often will project that on you. And then once they see things are starting to happen, now all of a sudden it's like, oh man, it is possible. Man, go ahead, put me on because you already laid the groundwork. I can jump in and skip a few steps. I'm ready to attach myself to that. And I just understand that most people think like that. It's after you get the results. When I was a skinny guy, just trying to figure out how to lift weights, wouldn't nobody take no weightlifting advice from me. But when I put on a few pounds and you see the results, oh, now all of a sudden it's like, hey, man, what you do? That don't mean they really gonna take the advice or take the game, but everybody want to attach themselves to success, and whatever measure that looks like. The other part is like we have a very huge epidemic of this in our community. We seeing it with our rappers and entertainers to this day, right? A lot of people got Peter Pan syndrome. They never gonna grow up, right? They doing the same thing they was doing 10, 15, 20 years ago and still trying to hold on to that image. You can see it on social media. That popular guy from high school still got the same type of stick and appeal that he trying to push out to the world. It's guys out here 40, 50 years old talking about who they'll knock out and beat up. Like, man, we supposed to elevate as time goes, but hey, everybody can't go.
Yeah, I totally
And
agree.
I think that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Everybody can't go sentiment. But the one thing I will say is your fear ain't got nothing to do with the way I operate. And don't try to, just because you were scared in the aspect, don't try to attach yourself to me now that because you were scared to do what the I'm doing or scared to chase your dreams. You know what I mean? Now don't come back around and be like, oh, I see he did it, so I ain't scared no more. You know what I mean? Like, nah, go do it on your own now, fam. You're not taking apart. You were scared to build a house. You're not coming to live in my house. It's just not happening. It's not happening, fam. You could have laid a brick just like I laid a brick.
And if you see most people, whatever they doing, any type of motion, any type of success they have, it's attached to other people. People are afraid to fail. To Dante's point, you look at some of us. We've done several different things trying to be entrepreneurs, and make stuff happen. It's not by coincidence that something happening. We've tried and we failed. But most people, by the grace of God, they link up with people who on the mission, who's ambitious, and they benefit from that. But most of those people, from a business standpoint, they haven't failed. They haven't really tried. It's always, I know these people. I'm gonna get down with these people. I'm gonna try and get in with where I fit in, like to Dante's point. And that's just what it be. People don't want to take the risk. They don't want to do the work. They want the popularity. They want to be a part of it. They want to be down. We gang and all that weird stuff. And that's really just it. People don't want to put in those 10,000 hours, and they don't. Period. They don't.
Well, I'm gonna tell you opportunists, you fucking leeches. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing every time I cuss. I told you I had number vitriol. I was already mad, bro, when we introduced this topic. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you think y'all gonna come over here and try to live in the house that I'm building, it ain't happening. So go ahead and just move on, hit the like button, subscribe, and keep it pushing, because it's not happening, fam. Like, it's not. I'm not providing nobody no opportunity. When y'all saw me building from the ground up, y'all didn't try to attach yourself then. Y'all don't even now that you're trying to leech yourself onto it, y'all ain't coming to viewing these videos. Y'all not liking and subscribing. Y'all not coming I'm not seeing my subscriber count change. So don't think that that's going to happen now. It's not happening.
And if I can add to that, hey, I've elevated. Regardless if anybody out there receive it or not. So I don't frequent places that I did 20 years ago. I don't behave a way consistently as I did 20 years ago. So you're gonna have to meet me on my level because I ain't really coming down like that. And people just gotta respect that, man. That's my journey. The grace of it, as Tay said, is man, I respect people in their journey. But at the end of the day, for me, is see you at the top or I'll see you from the top. No negotiations with myself.
That part, and you can add a we to that, because that's pretty much where I'm at as well. Like, nah, it's up, fam. So yeah, I've elevated as well. So I mean, y'all already know that, the people that know me personally. But this, and some of y'all know a hit dog gonna holler. I'm talking directly to you. So if you listen to this, a hit dog gonna holler. Yes, I'm talking to you. Go ahead, dog. I'm sorry. Wait,
Bars,
what are we talking about, dog?
bars, man,
Dog,
bars.
these got me hot, fam.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show naysayers.
Right, that part. Man, I'm gonna have a long day editing. But anyway, so let's move on to Travis Hunter. Let's talk about somebody else's business. Travis Hunter, I guess the last game, he went to reach his girl, give his girl a hug, and she kind of after him making some game winning plays, whatever. His girl, everybody noticed some negative energy in their relationship at that point. So everybody started doing a little bit more digging into their relationship. You see that she says, "Oh, he wasn't my type when I first met him. He grew on me, and now we're in super love and all this type of stuff." I have my thoughts on this, but the internet is tearing this man up. They calling him everything but simp. They saying that his girl ain't for him. She's an opportunist. He need to get a prenup. This, that, and the third. He was a high school player, I believe, dating her while she was in college. After they finally hooked up, like I said, she dubbed him in the DM a bunch of times, and finally he finally broke through. So now they've been in a long-term relationship. I'm not sure how long. I don't follow celebrities like that. I'm not digging too deep in nobody's relationship, so I'm just kind of giving you a report in the news here. But what I've heard. But where I want to approach this, I don't want to bash Travis Hunter. I'm not sure if my co-host thoughts they share the same thought as the rest of the internet feels, is that this man needs to get a prenup, this man is a simp, or he's simping for this woman. I want to know what y'all thoughts are on the situation, and then we'll move later on in the discussion. We'll move on to how we would handle the situation if Travis Hunter was our son or if his girlfriend was our daughter. So, not all at once. Both of y'all on mute.
All right, fine.
All right,
So,
fine.
two things.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me preface it by saying I don't know enough about her or him outside of him playing football, but if this is my son, absolutely you getting a prenuptial agreement because you're gonna protect the millions that you're gonna earn and quite frankly have already made based off of your ability. We're not talking about a young lady who helped him build to this. This is stuff that he's earned off of his God given ability. So absolutely protect yourself from a business standpoint, period. If you decide to take care of that woman and take care of her for the rest of your life, let it be on your choice. Period. Second, I don't know enough about the clip. I saw him too eating her up, talking about she was mad that he was talking to the cheerleaders or something. I think the internet just be reaching, man. The internet just be hating. But again, for my son, they young, man. They young, and so I don't really have a problem with you know, her saying those things because maybe that is their truth.
Yeah.
And you know how I know from a guy standpoint, there were some girls that maybe you were kind of attracted to, but as you kind of got to vibing with them and kicking it with them and seeing what they had to offer, it kind of became something. So I know the internet, they calling them ugly and all of this. Like she too pretty for him. She want his money. Maybe, but maybe not too. You know, like people, you can see that he's a cool kid and a vibe. Maybe she genuinely like his personality. I know he be on Twitch and real playful and fun. Maybe she really likes that and they hit it off. They're both kids. But if it's my son, the first thing we're doing is protecting ourselves. Again, if you choose to love this woman and take care of her, great. You're gonna have more than enough money to, but you're not gonna put yourself in a situation where you can be taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm. Before, and I'm just gonna give y'all a little bit more information because it just dawned on me while we sitting up here thinking. But I seen clips of her walking around saying, and I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'm just telling y'all. I'm just reporting because they young. And so I know how young and being in love, quote unquote, these insecurities arrive. But like she's saying that he can't be in the room alone with females by himself. That's a rule they have in their relationship. He said that same vice versa for her. Like she can't be in the room alone with men. So it seems that she's a highly insecure person. So I don't think that the internet is reaching too far with the way she reacted to him after that game. And like y'all can do the research on the clip yourself. That's how I'm gonna reserve judgment because I know I've been young in a relationship and I know how tumultuous those things can be when you're dealing with a person, you know, that's a lot of people know or whatever the case may be. So
Right.
I know how that goes. But
Right.
yeah. So just move forward. Like I don't think it's too much of a reach, but I just want to add that in there. But as far as protecting yourself, I think you spot on. I would definitely advise my son the same thing as well. Tay, what's your perspective? You have all daughters, Tay, so I want to know what's your perspective and what are your thoughts on this?
Well, just having all daughters, the first thing I'm gonna say is, if my daughters are marrying a man of the status of a Travis Hunter, I really want them to play the background. Don't be out and make yourself a target for social media. You know, nobody really knew much about Denzel Washington's wife for a lot of years, and she very rarely comes out and says hardly anything. Um, the other part is if I'm just coming at it from a straight, what's in the best interest of my daughters, then if he don't give a prenup, no, go ahead and get locked in. You know, right? And that's just real
Yeah.
life.
That's real. That's
At the
real.
end
Yeah.
of the day. But I also tell them they need to make sure that they pick a man that they really want to be on this program. You know what I'm saying? Is this something you want to deal with? This man gonna face a level of temptation that you may not understand. So it's just something to really grasp in that concept. As far as the way she responds to him, and from the clips I seen, and just kind of the little snippets and all of those things, I think, man, it's just kind of that narrative that everything is equal, and I just don't really believe that. So if my daughters were going to marry a guy like that and he came with him with a prenup, I'd also say, hey, how do you really feel about this man? If everything is what you say it is, then marry him, be with him, you know, but choose because of his character, not because of what you think you can get out of the situation. And if you make that choice and you feel like, hey, no, I chose the right guy, he's great character, he gonna take good care of me, then I don't think you got nothing to worry about,
Mm-hmm.
and just realistically, I think for Travis Hunter, man, he 21 years old. I remember being 21 and I knew everything about absolutely nothing. So in that sense, I really give him some grace and just understand, man, like young dudes, man, testosterone through the roof. He in the peak of his physical fitness. Man, his judgment might be clouded in some aspects of dealing with her because he really do feel like yo, I want to love her and really take care of her and show her the best side of me and the best side of life. And I just think, saying, like, both of them need some coaching on what their position is. She need to play the background because just this little subtle clip of her kind of having an attitude went viral, and it should really be a wake up call to say, hey, nah, everything I do will be scrutinized. And the way that he responds, he also need to get that coaching from Coach Prom to understand that, hey, Coach Prom been in love. He been through this situation, and we know money changes people. I think I mentioned this to Lamar before some time ago. I had a cousin who played in the NFL, and every time he posts something on Facebook, everybody, he, love you, cousin. I love you so much. Like, man, we don't even talk like that in my family. But that money changes the way people respond to you. So I think he just has to take those things into consideration. Um, I think he should play smart, but I also think if he isn't choosing wisely, then she need to play smart. And if that means she can get married without the prenup and things are more in her favor, man, that's on them to decide when it's all said and done. I just hope it works out for the best, and I hope it is really love and that it's enduring and they can really go through the fire and figure things out. But I also think, man, like, it's hard to say, man. These young guys been told everything they supposed to give a woman and probably none of what they supposed to get.
Yeah. The expectations of what they should expect from a woman. I know a lot of people might hear this and think that we being kind of one sided in this aspect, but no, this is real life. And I think you spot on, Tay, with them needing some coaching, even some counseling, because she's gonna have to deal with that insecurity. There's going to be times where Travis Hunter is going to be alone in the room with a woman, whether it's signing a contract. It might, he might get with a woman lawyer. It's not realistic, her expectations that I've seen her say. And that's how you can tell it's a level of immaturity there and that she needs coaching.
Yeah. And I mean, just realistically, like, man, this guy is a celebrity right now. And he ain't even signed an NFL contract. He got money, he got status, he got attention. Like, man, everywhere he turned, it's gonna be beautiful women pursuing him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just takes them to have a real understanding as far as like, oh, you can never be in a room and doing that. I think that's something they need to figure out a better way about handling those things, because when you 10, 15 years in, yeah, you might not feel like playing that game no more. But right now it sounds cute and you in love and all of those sort of things. So I just think they need to figure out how to approach that and find some better solutions to handle that. As far as her insecurities, I'm not sure you ever gonna really get outside that, because I think that just kind of comes with age. You're gonna face some insecurities from a woman that's 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. And that's just because all people have them. But especially, like, man, she might see some women who she feels like are more attracted than her trying to get with him, or going out of their way to be in the vicinity. I think there was a clip of LeBron running down an escalator the wrong direction to get away from some girls one time.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just something I don't know if she is fully prepared for, to understand, like, yeah, this gonna be his life for the foreseeable future. And more than anything, she need to choose her times to address anything with him more in a private manner.
Get the prenuptial agreement, young man. If you're my son, that's what I'm telling them.
One thing I do like about their relationship, just from a outside looking in, is that he really genuinely loves this woman. You can see it. You know what I mean? And these kids are a little bit different than how we grew up. So he ain't, it don't seem like he got a player bone in his body. He just genuinely enjoying her presence and being in love with her. He even sounds giddy when he talks to her and talks about her from the clips that I've seen. So that's one thing I really like about it, is that he's in love. But we do know that, when your nose is that wide open for a woman, that can lead to disaster. So I'm.
His mama say.
What'd you say?
What does Mama say?
I don't
That's
know.
what
We
I
need
want
to hear
to
from
know.
Mrs.
What
Hunter.
does Mama got to
Yeah,
say?
yeah, we need to hear from Mrs. Hunter because I'm pretty sure she got a lot to say.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Get the prenup, young man.
Yeah, yeah. But with that being said, man, we talk a lot about masculine energy and being man. Like, do y'all think that there's one way to be a man? To be to exude masculine energy, do you think it's a set of guidelines that you have to have? Do you think it's a certain energy? You think what? How do y'all feel about it? How do y'all feel about that statement? Is there one way to be a man?
I would say no, just off the question, because just off the question alone, the man in me thinks, how can you tell me how to be a man? So I don't think it's one way, but I think there are strong characteristics of what manhood really looks like, and a lot of that is uh, doing what you say you're gonna do, following through, being genuine, um, wanting to build. We act like only certain people are ambitious, like it's hereditary. It's really not. I think that's the opposite of manhood. I think the opposite of I think manhood in itself is accepting the challenge that we got to hunt and that we got to build. I think that's really what it comes down to. How you deal with people, how you communicate with women. A lot of that's personality based. But I think the objective of a man is knowing that you have to build. And, sometimes or majority of the time, that's in the form of hunting, right? You eat what you kill. And so, yeah, I don't think it's, a lot of the podcasts, they acting like you got to rule everything with an iron fist. I don't think that's necessarily manhood, cussing everybody out, want to beat everybody up. But I think the manhood part is understanding that we need to get to A to Z. And if it's me being quiet and playing slow or whatever the case may be, so we can get there, I'm gonna put us on our back and get us there.
Tay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think it's just about, a big part of being a man is just having a plan and some principles that you can really stick to and follow through, and just being willing to figure it out, and find your way on that. I think probably the biggest thing that, especially a Travis Hunter might have to look out for is don't allow her to define what a man is. He has to determine that for himself, and we all have to determine that for ourselves, and then go forward and say, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. This is the plan and the direction I'm going in." And let the chips fall where they may after that. So I don't think there's one exact way, other than the fact that just knowing as a man, sometimes you're gonna have to face some hard challenges. You need to stand up and keep going, take accountability and responsibility, and keep moving.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't think it's one way to be a man either, because for all intents and purposes, I really didn't have a man raise me. I've had nothing but, for the most part, I won't say it was completely that, but for the most part, I had bad examples of what a man is around me. I've had alcoholics, I've had womanizers, I've had all the above. Thank God I was wise enough not to want to be like the majority of the picture that I saw around me, and I want to just continue to elevate my life based on what I thought was morality and principles, as like you just spoke of. You know what I mean? And I had a lot of God in there as well. Like my mom got me in the church young, and so I seen men operate in the church in a different way. Even though I didn't stick with the church, that definitely was a good baseline for me to kind of discover myself. And then the military helped the rest of the way with the hunting aspect and everything like that. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of examples, so I don't think it's one way either.
Thank you for your service.
I appreciate that, brother. I'll do it again. Even though you like to talk about my flag, but I'll do it again. All right, man. Let me see. For uh, uh, what is this? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was reading this. I'm reading my notes here. I'm like, is there one way to be a mama? I'm the typo king, bro. How did I get mama? Trying to type, man. I am 100% the typo king, bro.
Feminist. He's a
I'm a
feminist.
feminist. That's right. That's right. I have been told that some I've had women tell me before that I got a pretty good balance of masculine and feminine energy, but you have to know me personally to understand what they mean. But the United Healthcare CEO, Assassin, apparently he released a statement. Tay, you want to take that?
Yeah, as the police were taking him away, he yelled out that this was an insult to the intelligence of the American people, almost as though it was some sort of setup or farce or something along those lines. So I just think that's an interesting development. We'll be interested to see if, I'm sure the conspiracy theorists are running rampant with it. But it's hard to tell, man. I mean, I don't put it past the government. They've done so many things, but at the same time, it seems like it's pretty cut and dry. So who knows?
It seems, but he said he also on the statement they released. He said he wasn't working with nobody. He was doing it on his own. Don't try to unlock his computer because he's a engineer and he got his stuff locked down. It's hard for me to believe that, man. This looked like a setup from the jump, and I don't know if any of y'all watch Lioness, but it kind of lets you know how these government organizations move and how they'll use certain people and they'll use the media to manipulate the minds of the American people. I ain't a super conspiracy theorist, but this is a little too. It's a little too. I don't know, man. Like it's a little too cut and dry for me. You know, it's like I didn't know who this guy was. How would you know where this guy location was and this, that, and the third alone? Like, you know what I mean? Not saying that this guy wasn't smart, but smart enough to take a life and then just go to McDonald's and get a Happy Meal and get caught the next day. That's wild to me. Like if you that smart to find out who the CEO is, find his location, assassinate this man, I'm pretty sure you're smart enough not to get caught buying
Yeah,
McDonald's
I
at
agree.
that point.
That's actually a
Yeah,
good
I
point.
agree. Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know, man, but we'll see. This is this is a story that's gonna continue to develop, and as it develops, we'll continue to point it out, on each episode of this show, moving forward. But man, I don't know. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add? We got a few more minutes we need to fill, about 10. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add?
Insurance, man, that's big business. So if anybody got the money and power to influence government, it's definitely insurance companies.
Mm-hmm.
They got lobbyists, they got all sort of things under their belt. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was insurance, pharmaceuticals, any big business like that. Man, they can make anything happen and fit whatever narrative they want it to fit. So it's just really hard to say, man. Either way it goes, it's unfortunate that that man lost his life to this event. But I don't put nothing past the government and anybody with that much power and influence. So who knows?
I don't put nothing past America at all. Like not at all. Not at this point. We've seen way too much conspiracy. We've seen way too much stuff that doesn't have any explanation and just comes out the blue. So I ain't putting nothing past nobody, and especially the American government at this point. So, but like I said, I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist, but a lot of this stuff just don't make sense to me at all right now. Yeah, y'all. I feel like they playing in our face and so not intelligence a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost not to be insensitive to the families and the people that knew this person if this said person is a person and this really happened, right? That's the type of time, like, who knows? But anyhow, it almost feels irrelevant if I'm just being completely honest, right? It's like even killing that guy didn't stop the system. Killing that one person isn't going to change how the system does whatever you think they did, which caused you to think he was worthy to be killed. So it's just one of those things where it's like, man, that's kind of crazy. Like, it's like that's a job. Like they'll hire another. There's a person there that's like, dang, rest in peace. But like, hey, can I apply? I've been helping out a little. So it's like the show goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, so it just don't make sense to me. It sounds a little loose,
Yeah.
to be nice.
Yeah, to be nice. Yeah. Man, what do y'all think about all these respiratory illnesses? I've been seeing on the news that they talking about respiratory illnesses on the rise. Didn't you just mention earlier, Burn, that COVID was coming back? Or
Yeah,
I gotta
they
bleep that.
saying
I
this
gotta
back.
bleep that out too. Remind me to bleep that out because
Yep,
they saying this back.
they saying this back, and to all our listeners, I apologize. I'm still actually a little congested. I sound way more romantic than I do now. So about fourth about the fourth or fifth episode, I know I'm be having listeners fall in love, but I am married. I'm happily married, guys. But I should be back. But there's some respiratory stuff going on, man. The kids are sick. Um, the baby not, praise God, but yeah, there's some stuff definitely going on where we're at for sure.
Yeah, I've been noticing that, man. Everybody I talk to from here to Wisconsin, from Texas to Wisconsin, has been sick or or getting over some respiratory illness or something. It's strange to me too, and it's man, I'm telling you, man. Every time I mention this post pandemic world that we've been in, man, this everything is it's weird. Almost starting to feel like the Twilight Zone. And I don't know if y'all been paying that much attention or giving that much thought into it. I know we focus a lot on our families and things that we can't control, but it's been feeling weird out here, man. Like I'm like, bro, yeah, just keep pissing on me and telling me it's raining.
That part.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, okay, all right, government, I got y'all. Meanwhile, we ain't worrying about why the hell it's 70 degrees in December.
Oh, you don't believe in climate change now, do you?
No, I don't believe it. Maybe Al Gore had a point. Maybe you're right.
Damn liberals.
I tell you what, where I'm from. No, let me stop.
We need to get Cat Williams at the top of the year to tell us what's going on. That's the only way we're gonna find out what's actually going on is if Cat Williams come out at the top of the year.
Bro, he had a heck of a 2023, didn't he?
Bro, listen.
Or is it 2024?
2024, bro.
2024.
He started, bro, but think about this, bro. It seemed like that Club Shay Shay interview was yesterday. That was January of this year.
The what the chickens have come home to roost for real.
Hey,
Geez, he
but
put people on notice.
hey, I'm giving y'all a homework assignment though, because we definitely need to watch that Jamie Foxx special as a group and review that. I've heard mixed reviews. Some people said, well, the one person I heard say it was bad, and then the rest of the people said they cried, it was emotional, it was funny. This man almost lost his life. We thought Jamie Foxx was not coming back from this illness that we heard. You know what I mean? And I heard he disclosed it on the show. By the time y'all hear this, y'all probably know what the illness was, because I heard he disclosed it on the Netflix special or whatnot. But I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna watch that, and then I guess we can discuss it tomorrow evening, and or it's today evening by the time y'all hear this podcast, and then get that out to listeners, give our thoughts on that. But yeah,
Can I say something to the listeners here really quick, Rom? Is that okay?
go right ahead, bro. Jump in.
I just want to say, guys, and I'm going to look directly at you guys. My friends from Texas, hi, howdy. Let's do better and be intentional about lifting each other up as we go into 2025. My catchphrase, hashtag been let's go. It's okay to be on the sideline, right? But when you consider sports and you consider that family that show up every week on the sideline, and then when those players run across that sideline, it may be week 10, but they go and sign that autograph, right? Because they've seen that family for 10 weeks on that sideline, cheering loud, never wavering. We have to learn as we go into 2025 positioning. You got to own your position. It's not always about you being a man in the aspect or woman based on the aspect on what you think that to be, right? We all going in the same direction, those who are headed toward winning, but some people going in the plane, some people going in the boat, some people in the car, some people by horse, some people by internet, right? It doesn't matter. Own it, right? Celebrate that and play your position. So like, comment, subscribe. What I want for my brothers, I want for me. And that's where we got to stand on it. That's what being a man is. Um, Whatever somebody doing, your friend just started a clothing line and you had a clothing line before. He didn't copy you. You ain't the first person to do a clothing line, right? Y'all, some people, all you do, you weren't the first person to have a podcast. You didn't invent it, and that's okay. Because wherever you see McDonald's, you see Burger King across the street. Same with Walgreens and CVS. So let's play our positions this year, guys. We got to do better, and that's my cry.
Yeah.
That's my plea.
Yeah, that's big facts. I love that. I love that little monologue. But excuse me, excuse me, Jesus. But what I will say, as a caveat to that as well, is if we want to operate on a higher level, and this is me on my soapbox, right? I've gotten my level of success. Lamar and Dante, they have their level of success. They working on bigger and better things. But you spoke to t-shirt lines. I don't think we need another t-shirt line in the black community. We need to start developing products and goods and services that move the GDP, that actually move something in the United States. We got to stop this low level thinking. We got to start operating bigger. We got to start thinking bigger and better things. We have to start looking for problems in the marketplace and solving them. I think that's a huge problem, is that we steady trying to look at becoming rappers. Everybody's saying how there ain't no money in the music industry. We trying to become podcasters. Half the podcasters don't even have a voice or don't have a critical thinking bone in their body. It's all the same low hanging fruit stuff. I think we need to start thinking on a larger level, something that actually moves the growth domestic product in the United States, and developing businesses. Like I say, even if you ain't reinventing the wheels, because man, listen, technology it's moving fast. And we here with this AI. Y'all see the Tesla robots. These things aren't stopping. It's not slowing down. Pretty soon, a lot of things and a lot of jobs and a lot of products that we create, we're gonna be irrelevant if you don't learn how to use AI to your benefit. If you don't learn what Chat GPT, what the GPT and Chat stand for, like, you behind the power curve already. Y'all like to talk about, oh, it's scary what AI is doing and this and that and the third. How about you educate yourself about it, and then you won't have those same thoughts. You know what I mean? And so moving forward, I want us to think on a higher level than just a t-shirt brand, a podcast. Even though I got one of y'all hearing this on a podcast, but you if you don't have nothing to say, don't open up your lips to the world. Tay, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think that addresses kind of a deeper issue. I just been noticing. I think we kind of bought into the racism and the stereotypes of our own people, and we start to exemplify that. It's like, oh, the only way to make it is sports and music and criminal activity, or trying to be fly. It's like, man, what happened to the people who owned the grocery store, who took pride in being mechanics, who took pride in just the basic things, and filling in those basic necessities of life. And I think we need to find a way to get our people back to that, because that's where we're going to find the opportunities for growth. That's where big business needs to be. One thing I always try to remember as we do business is that, man, we want to fill the law of need. What is it that people need? I'm going to find a problem, and then I'm going to solve it, and then I'm going to sell you the solution, and we all going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And right now we finding ways to make money, but do people need it? And people need to hear a different voice. People need to find different ways to serve one another. And I think everybody's trying to find a way to make money without helping a fellow man. And that's where it's always going to be a step backwards. So if we get out here and serve each other, we get out here and find what everyone needs, and we find a solution for that, that's the best way to do business. So that's the thing that's going to move us forward.
Tay, can I embarrass you for a moment?
Yeah, go ahead.
When I met you, when the very first phone conversation we had, how much money was you making at that time? Just on that job. Because you had multiple jobs at the time. So I'll just put like that, just on that job. But how much money was you making at the time?
Man, it's kind of hard to say, man. I was just at that point after paying all my bills and everything, just trying to have like $100 to myself. I was working about 3 jobs. Man, I'll probably say I wasn't even making $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
But I was working 3 jobs and running a training business, training basketball players.
Right. And I mean, and I'm not saying that to embarrass you. I'm just kind of saying the growth. And I'm going to point out your morality. I want to give you your flowers here. So that's why I want to kind of put you on the floor and embarrass you. And I'm sorry to do this to you. But when you started your company, You told me, I don't even know if you remember this, but I want to give you your flowers in this aspect. The company you were working for, y'all were doing some of the same things. You didn't like it the way it was being ran. I know some of the people that was running the company. I know some of the rumors and stuff behind that. And you went out and started your own company because you didn't like the environment. You didn't like the way the employees. You didn't like the way the people that were in that the company was benefiting was operating. And you wanted to see that change. And that was the first thing you said to me, was that you wanted to change the industry. You didn't say, I want to go out here and become a millionaire. You didn't say, I want to come. You didn't say I want to get rich or none of that. Of course, that you knew that was a byproduct of starting your own company, but your heart immediately was in the right place. If you don't mind sharing, can you share to people about how much in revenue y'all company has done over the last year or so, or even you can give a month, just give them whatever figure you want to. But I just want people to know what you can achieve when your heart is in the right place and you solving a problem in the marketplace.
Yeah, well, I won't get into specifics, but it's pretty close to a couple 100,000 a month.
Yeah, so that's what I said. We don't gotta be super specific, but I just want to give people that let them know. Hey, no, this brother has had that. These two brothers, they started this company with their heart in the right place. Now, Lamar, I know you want to chime in, bro. I'll give you the floor. I'll get off my soapbox, but I appreciate y'all. I appreciate what y'all do in your community as well.
Thank you.
I just wanted to go back real quick and ask about those robots. It's two parts.
Okay.
If they make them, are you gonna have one part A and part two B? What you gonna have them doing?
Listen, dog. Why do everybody keep asking me? Dude, you are the second person that said Jerome was getting the Tesla robot. Hey, listen, dog. I might. I have to see what their capabilities are. Now, everybody was talking about the biggest thing about the Tesla robots is like the hands. The hands are the most expensive part of the robot. I don't know if y'all know this. The things that make the one thing that makes humans unique is the dexterity that we have in our hands. Y'all can do your own research about this, but I believe each one of the Tesla robot hands is about 10 grand or something like that. It's the most expensive part of the robot from what the research that I've done. So, depending on the capabilities, depending on how much energy they need to operate, I might get one, bro. I might just have to go ahead and get one, dog. Like it just depends on the capability. I'm not scared of technology. You know, I embrace it. So
I'm gonna say this for the people who don't know Jerome. Jerome is gonna be absolutely first to have one. And with that being said, everybody who do end up one that he know gonna be calling him to troubleshoot the robot. Hey man, she ain't listening. She ain't listening, man. That dexterity ain't working.
Hey, listen, dog. Just for you saying that, I'm definitely not getting a robot. I don't want to know. Listen, dog, I have to troubleshoot everything for everybody, dog. I ain't getting this robot. Now that you said that, I might have to guess it. Or if I do, y'all ain't knowing I got one.
No, I want me a little baddie. I ain't gonna lie. I want a little baddie bot. Bring your little baddie bot self in here.
I absolutely was just gonna say, he was like, yeah, you absolutely trying to be like, what's that movie with Megan Fox in it? Where she is the AI or whatever, where the dude got her to help with the kids and all that.
Oh, I know a movie you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Oh man, I just saw the preview of it. I didn't even watch it, but
yeah. But anyway, no, like, listen, dog, no, I may not, but dog, but I mean, if they make them robots stick, I'm gonna have to talk to the wife though. It ain't about the hands. I need something else to be on that robot.
the bot switch off is crazy. Don't let me borrow that bot for a couple nights.
Man, I need to know what they can do, man. I need to know what they can do. Like that let me know if I actually will really want to get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, can it drive? Can it clean? Can it cook? Like, man, what can it do?
Hey man, I can barely get my microphone to work on my MacBook sometimes, so I don't like. I'm gonna be real pissed off with this robot. Alexa, turn off, Alexa.
Right. If Alexa overheats, what does that mean? I want to know.
All right, dog. Hey, I ain't fixing nobody robot. Don't call me, dog.
Burnt
Off this
by a
damn.
robot is crazy.
Hey, dog. Listen, yeah, no, that's them gigabytes in that VD gonna be nuts.
Man, I got a question for y'all on a different note.
Yeah.
With that, with them saying this is going back in effect, do y'all think that they would actually be able to do a lockdown again like they did before, or would everybody just say nah and ignore it?
I absolutely hope that's not the truth. I can see it, man, because we live in a world where people are so anti-jab. You know what I mean? I was just speaking about, and this is why I'm pro-jab, because we've almost eradicated every human virus with the jab. They talking about how GLP-1s can help with Alzheimer's, and they got all, this was originally a diabetic drug. They came to find out, oh, you can lose weight with it. Now they're talking about how this stuff can help Alzheimer's and dementia. I don't know if it's preventative measures, but they talking about there's some positive effects that they can help prevent that. Also, when was the last time you seen somebody with the chicken pox? You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure it's isolated cases across America where people don't get the jabs. We ain't seen the measles, the mumps, polio, all this stuff. We've eradicated these viruses. Think about anthrax when that was going on during post 9/11 when anthrax was a thing. I've been vaccinated. I was in the service. I've been vaccinated for anthrax. You know what I mean? Like yellow fever, smallpox. Anybody who was born after the 1960s, y'all haven't had to really get smallpox shots. You know what I mean? I've gotten them because I was in the service. Another one I have got. But we've eradicated all these diseases because of the jab. That's why I'm pro jab. Now at first when this I won't say it, the thing that caused the pandemic came out. People were anti the jab, so they were like, oh, I'm not doing that. I was one of the first people like, what the hell? I've been shot up with everything else. Let me go see what it's about, and then I'll make sure that it's safe for my family. And if it's safe for my family, then y'all can do it. So that's why I'm pro the jab. The science is there. They still refining it. People are still getting series of it. So I think if everybody do their part, or you do what you want, but I think if the majority of people do their part and protect themselves, we can get rid of this as well. So we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap for that. People wouldn't do it, but I also think ignorance is bliss. To kind of piggyback Rome. And this is the thing I would say about any illness in these pandemics, man. I know there was people that were saying, "Hey, the person may have died of a jab, etc." Cool, we understand that, right? But that's with anything, right? You may have 4 shots of Patron, and somebody else may have alcohol poisoning from that, and you just had a good night. All of our bodies react differently, so we can't always pick out a few instances and be like, "Hey, this, that, and the third," because that ain't always the case. I think in line with that, though, just on a serious note, obesity is going to kill more people in the 21st century than any other disease, pandemic, anything combined. All these diseases, these autoimmune deficiencies are directly correlated to obesity and being overweight. And that's really going to kill us. It
Yeah.
really is. The statistics right now, because I was actually looking at this from something else, but the statistics right now from 2021 to 2024, did y'all know, and this stat going to mess y'all head up, but did y'all know that from those 4 years, the studies show that not only 36% of people are overweight, they qualify as being obese. To qualify as obese, and look this up for yourself, guys. This is from a .gov, so it ain't just from some BS. But being obese is 30 BMI and higher. So that high percentage of people are obese. We know from just the numbers, my own weight loss journey and getting in shape per se. At one point, I was 18% body fat, or my being, yeah, 18%, which I thought was high, and I looked like I would had a pudge and all that stuff. So imagine 30.
Speaking of speaking of BMI and being overweight, Lamar brings up a very good point. And this is just something I want to caveat off of that. I have a lot of people hitting me about seasonal depression or being depressed right now, and it's not lost on me that the holiday seasons are rough for a lot of people. If you don't have the money to afford gifts, if your financial situation, if your life just ain't in order right now, you might be going through some type of depression. So one thing that I will encourage y'all to do is, and this even goes for me, because top of this year I was about 355 pounds. You know what I mean? I'm a big guy. Like, you know, I got down. I lost like 15 pounds by October, and now I've been on the journey. I haven't weighed myself yet, but I'm gonna go see how much progress I've made since October. But I know I lost a ton of weight. I've lost about 6 inches on my waistline just since October. I'm gonna say 6, maybe 4. But anyway, my clothes fitting completely different. I'm going through body recomping right now. That it helped me a lot with my depression. I was dealing with depression tough. Top of the year last year, all that type of stuff, and it helped me a lot with my mindset, getting in shape, being around positive minded, like minded people, and working in my purpose and building. So that's one thing I'm gonna encourage the people who listen to this show to do. Y'all, I want y'all to if you feel like you're going through some kind of seasonal depression, first thing you need to do is start hitting that gym. And Lamar, you had a little nugget information that you hit me with, because like I said, with your journey, you Tay, you being a trainer, you studied all this type of stuff, but you had a gym that you hit me with about depression and how it's linked to your physical fitness.
A nutritionist, there's been a study done in Harvard. You guys can look this up for yourselves. But there was a study actually done out of Harvard where they said depression, both seasonal and clinical, is tied to diet and exercise, meaning that if you are in shape and or consistently pursuing shape, you can cure uh, seasonal and or clinical depression. How they explained it in the article was that when you're depressed, that's just a feeling. And what you typically do with the habits, if you have bad habits, is it may be eat, it may be drink, because it may be the crutch in the moment, but ultimately those behaviors are going to have negative effects in the long run. So it just truly puts you deeper into the hole. So based off of this study, they saw that when you have a purpose tied to health and wellness, getting in shape, you can rid yourself of depression.
Yeah.
But again, it's going to be diet and exercise, and a lot of that was getting out too, like getting in the sun. And the study also went on to talk about like that's how that fad sort of thing, that workout 75 hard, I believe it's called, that was going all over the internet.
Yeah.
That was actually attached to that, where with one of the workouts, it was 2 workouts a day, but one workout had to be outside. So actually getting outside too, moving, um, getting some sun, diet and exercise, and pull yourself out by your bootstraps.
But yeah, man, I think on that note, I think no better way to end this show to wrap this up. But man, listen, I hope y'all can take some of this practical information that we give now and apply it to your life. I encourage everybody to get on your weight loss journey. Like I said, this stuff has helped me tremendously. And like I said, I'm in the middle of mine right now. Lamar been on his journey for a few years. Tay, his whole life. I think he came out the womb like, yeah,
Boy came out the womb doing pull ups.
Hand me that creatine in my bottle, cuz. Like, so
Hey,
you
we're
had to be
gonna
born
give.
like that.
Hey, let's give our faithful listeners another opportunity to support and to be a part of something bigger than themselves. We're gonna again give you guys the opportunity to bless us with the Cash App. We're gonna put that on there.
Mm.
And here go the thing: like, subscribe, and donate. So then, once we get super big, you can say, "Man, I helped them get big," and you could be telling the truth. Because otherwise, you're gonna be lying, and I'm gonna have the receipts.
Right.
That's all I got.
Right, right, and for those who don't know, my longtime supporters and listeners, I'm pretty sure y'all can comment. I want to see y'all in the YouTube comment. I'm gonna do a call to action. Hop in the YouTube comments of this next show and be like, hey, yeah, Jerome actually does send us swag packages when we support the show. I've sent listeners of the show T-shirts, hoodies, all type of stuff just for supporting. Like, you know what I mean? This is out of my own pocket. You know what I mean? Just to show, that's just show my appreciation of y'all just showing up, liking, commenting, and being a long-term supporter of me. So I'm not saying I'm gonna do that for everybody, but maybe if you donate to the code drive, I'll keep the cash app up on the screen, cuz I'll keep it up here. But listen, y'all, on that note, Tay, you got anything else to add, bro? Because I know me and Lamar was kind of getting long-winded towards the end there.
Man, all I want to say is take care of your mind, take care of your body. It's the only place you got to live.
That part. And on that note, man, we up out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow with another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. Peace.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.